So today is proof of concept. I've been ordering in some stuff and I'm trying to figure out how to get all of these trees out of the woods and onto the few trails that I have. What you can't see is there's a big nice tree blown down all the way over there. There's some out there. We have more trees than I can count all throughout the woods. So if you're just stumbling on this video, we took a hit from Hurricane Idalia and it's laid trees down everywhere out here in our woods, and I'm trying to salvage as many as I can before they rot on me. We may get a sawmill, cut some up. We're already doing firewood. That's the majority of what this is going to go to. So we're trying to, well, not let it rot, turn into some money. But how do we get these trees out of the woods onto the trail? So that's what we're going to be figuring out today. I've ordered in some synthetic ropes that have really high pulling strengths. I've got some straps, some big D-rings, and I've got some other stuff back up at the shop. I've also ordered me in a few snatch blocks. So that's what we're experimenting with today. We're looking at what equipment and tools I'm going to need to salvage a lot of this stuff. So today we're going to try to do it on the cheap, but we may be looking at getting some equipment here on the property that's going to help us out. So the cool thing about snatch blocks and straps, if you're not familiar with it, and pulleys in general, well, they give you a lot of compound strength. You can double up snatch blocks and pulleys and double your pulling strength with equipment like this Ranger or tractors to get far more pulling power. And the cool thing about straps like this, they can go around trees that are offset to the side, and I can pull still going down a trail, but I can direct logs to come out of the wood onto the trail. So think about that. I need this tree to come out to the trail, but I can't pull over here and drag it into the woods that way. It's all water and a swamp right there. So I need to be able to pull this direction right here, but have the tree come this direction. You can do that with pulleys and rigging to other trees and pulling points. That's the real cool thing about this. So I've got two options here. I can pull stuff out to the trail, cut it up into short length logs that I can come and grab with my tractor grapple and haul straight out. That's the majority of what I'm going to do. But what happens when I get to nice sized trees that I maybe want to do sawmill logs with? Well, those are too wide to grab with a grapple and go running down these narrow trails. I'll actually have to skid them out. So I have to pull straight down the trail. That's where I'll use a tractor and 3-point, wrap a chain around the logs that I pull out of the woods, carry it from one end and drag it straight out. Now for something like this, that's just going to go straight to firewood. I don't want to pull it straight down the trail and skid it out because I'm just going to fill all the bark up with dirt, and then that's going to dull my chainsaw chain. I would like to pull it straight out across the trail like this and then cut it. I can come in and grab it with my grapple, carry it right out. Now in order to use these snatch blocks, they just fold right open. You put your rope or cable in, fold them back. Now we'll connect it to the strap of the D-ring. Got a chain hooked up to the tree, or we could just put the strap straight to it. And then we'll hook the rope right to this chain. Now you can see we're hooked to the tree. We want to drag it across the trail. So we've come over to a snatch block with a strap around this tree. And then that rope runs way back down the trail because I have a really long rope, and I'll hook it to the back side of the Ranger. We'll see if we can pull this out into the trail and start bucking it up. I don't think that could have worked any better. All right, so now I'll buck up probably at an 8-foot section because that's about as wide as I can get out of the trail. We'll hook to it again, snatch more out, and then we'll go all the way in there and see if we can pull the top out and salvage some wood out of it. All right, that worked out really, really well. Let's go all the way out here and see if we can drag the top out and salvage any wood off of it. All right, that worked out so well. Now everything's laid out in the trail. I just need to buck up this one limb, and we'll come out here with the tractor and grab them and head off. Then we just move on to another tree another day, and another tree and another tree, and now I know how to go way out in the woods and bring something way out. It's also worth mentioning where you put your snatch block. Down low versus up high as you can go will lift the end of the log that's coming out of the woods and keep it from digging in and dragging as much. That will make your resistance easier on whatever you're pulling it with. All right, well, I've got these smaller limbs piled in here with a whole bunch of small wood that I've been bringing in for another splitting session to come, and that worked out really, really well. Now, this is just a proof of concept video. Obviously, that wasn't a big score right there, but you just repeat that over and over and over. Next thing you know, you wind up with a pile like this, and you just keep doing it all winter long. All right, so that was a good, cheap solution right there with the stuff that I have in the back of the Ranger. Ropes, snatch blocks, chains, and you can get a lot of work done, even with a small tractor or a Ranger, whatever you need to do. But we've got some massive trees out there, some that are so big that I don't even own equipment that can move them, and we'll either have to cut them in place or they may just rot where they are. I hate it, but I have realistically more trees down than I can get before they'll rot, and I'm gonna do this all winter long. So I learned a lot today. That worked out great. How to work the snatch block, the straps, and we'll get better as we go. Hopefully you learned something as well. Now the big question, am I going to continue to use this method with all that I have out there and the clock is ticking before the stuff rots on me? Or are we going to figure out how to speed this up? I've been seriously considering a piece of equipment to speed this process up, and I decided to bite the bullet. You are not going to want to miss one of the upcoming episodes. It's about to dramatically improve my tree gathering, firewood, and potential future sawmill game right here on how I bring in raw materials for all that. That's going to be a fun episode. I'm so excited about this one. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this little video. Now, well, we got to get to cutting. We got to get to splitting. All my firewood-loving viewers, I know we have a pile of them on the channel. Get ready. This winter is going to be non-stop action for tractors, chainsaws, splitters, new equipment, everything that you could possibly think of.